Okay, so we know that Chicagoans are a very unique breed.
Proud and
Unique
unique
breed.
breed.
So, what are some things that you might not know about Chicagoans or that you should know before you move here?
The first thing off the top of my head is dibs. And
Dibs.
I
Explain dibs.
for those that don't know, dibs is when in the winter when we have a lot of snow.
A lot.
A lot of snow. Even little snow though. Sometimes you see dibs out there.
Yeah.
When there's just like no snow. It's like, come on. But dibs is when you shovel out your parking spot on the street, which is a public right of way, and then you put your
Pieces of furniture,
lawn chairs is the go-to to claim your spot that you
because
dug
who
out.
else is going to get out of their car in the snow, move your thing, and take your spot? Actually, it
That
gets
happens.
aggressive.
That happens, yeah. There's been stories of people having their tires slashed and whatnot. So if you go here and you do see that, just leave it alone.
It's
you
normal.
don't know the crazy behind it. If there is, it is normal, but I don't do it. I'm very much against it. I have a garage spot now, but when I was parking on the street, I was very much against it. And I think that we should have a culture more of digging out other people's spots. Like dig yours out and dig out the person behind you, right?
So nice of you.
You know?
As a Chicagoan.
As a Chicagoan, yeah. So I think that that's one of the that's definitely the one that sticks out the most to me. What about you? What do you say is? What do you think of when you think of our unique and proud Chicagoans and our?
Huge sports city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that comes our unwavering loyalty to the Bears. It's
to the Bears, no matter what.
No matter what, it's always
every year. It's our year.
Every year, same with the Cubbies. With that comes the hot dogs. You cannot put ketchup on your hot dog here.
Yeah.
You'll get looks.
I don't even like to ask for ketchup, even though it's going to go with my fries. I just don't want to be judged. But, well, speaking of baseball, too, and rooting against one of the Chicago teams. Like, they're both in Chicago, the Cubs and the White Sox.
Yeah, But
you have to pick a side.
I don't hate the Sox. I'm just a Cubs fan.
Okay, I'm not going to use the word hate.
Okay, hate's a strong word.
I strongly dislike... I don't even care that much because honestly, like baseball is probably my least favorite sport to watch of all the ones in Chicago. But I'm a Bears fan, diehard. But I'm a White Sox fan, and so you can't root for the Cubs, right? If you're a White Sox fan, but same vice versa. I don't want a Cubs fan root for a White Sox fan.
And why'd you move to Wrigleyville?
Well, for the nightlife.
Oh.
It has a better nightlife than around Comiskey, which is another thing. We call it Comiskey still. And it hasn't been called Comiskey in 30 years, 20 years. Went to U.S. Cellular Field, and people call it the Cell. That's not a thing. And now Guaranteed Rate Field, which I also think is funny because we love Guaranteed Rate. We work with lots of agents who are at Guaranteed Rate. But the fact that the arrow is pointing down, I don't think that's a good look for a stadium, especially for the White Sox, because they are one of the worst teams in major leagues right now. So
another thing that true Chicagoans, I think, do without realizing it when giving directions is naming the street intersections.
Yeah.
If I'm telling somebody to meet me in Bucktown, I'll say meet me at Damon and Armitage.
Right. You really have to start learning the street names when you get here.
Where do you live? I live at, North and Clybourne.
Yeah.
Not more specific than that.
Yeah, like, okay.
And we expect everyone to just get it.
To know where that is.
And know where that
is. Well,
is.
if you're a local, you will understand that. I used to love telling people about our grid system here because
it's so easy.
It's very easy once you understand how it works, right? And I can go into how it works for those that don't know. But
0-0 Madison
0-0
State.
Madison State down in the loop, right? And every block is an eighth of a mile or 100 address, numbers, whatever. 800 then is a mile. And so you get to learn which ones are the major streets at 800 1600, right? It's
You know where I learned that?
where?
Right when I moved to Chicago, I was commuting downtown on the Red Line. And so every day when I would leave downtown and head back up to Southport Corridor, where I would transfer and get on the Brown, but I would just look out the window and read and kind of study the train stops, which have our number grids on them.
True.
So I'm like, okay, we're at 800 here. Now we're at 1,000. Oh, that's Armitage. Now we're at 1,600. We're at North Avenue.
1,000 is not Armitage.
Oh, okay. Scratch that. 2,000.
2,000.
You know what I mean. It's been a while since I've taken the train.
How far can you go going north from downtown, since we're North Siders, every 800? What's 800?
I would probably stop naming after Bryn Mawr.
What's Bryn Mawr?
Well, that's why I said.
Shoot, on the spot here. I think it's like 5,200? Or is it
No.
5,600?
No.
Foster's 4,800.
No, Foster's 5,200.
Is it? Am I screwing this up?
Yeah.
Shoot. Wait. Irving Park is 4,000.
52 Foster, baby.
52, yeah. So what's 48 then? Lawrence. Duh. Shoot.
I mean, we're not supposed to know this off the back of our heads.
I like to know as much as I can off the
Well,
off
but
the
that's
top.
how I learned. I learned from taking
Yeah.
the train as like a young professional in the city. Every day I would just stare out the window, every single train stop, read the sign, read where we were, the grid and the coordinates were there, and that's how I got to learn the city. So now, obviously we've lived here nearly 20 years, right? I truly feel like if you blindfolded me and spun me in a circle in any neighborhood, you take that blindfold off, I would be able to figure out where I am nearly immediately just by looking up.
Right. You should be able to. And it's confusing with the street signs, and I try to explain it to people because we are in my opinion, the best planned city in the world.
Okay, urban planning major.
You look it up. The data is there that the symmetry in the streets and how the aerial streets kind of come out from the loop and everything about it. It's a very symmetrical city, and the grid system makes a whole lot of sense. But people get hung up on something like, let's say we take
six corners.
No, take North Avenue for instance, right? It is 1,600 north, but the whole street is what's the north, but it heads east and west.
Yes,
and it's called North Avenue. Talk about confusing, right? But that's the kind of thing you have to start to understand, right? It's the same thing when you head west from downtown, right? You got State, and then as you head west, the first 800 is Halstead, and then 1,600 is Ashland. 2,400 is Western, right? And Western heads north and south. 2,400 west, 3 miles west of downtown. Makes a lot of sense. So you look at the signs, and it'll say 2,400 west, right? Or no, it'll say the north. Now I'm getting confused. But basically, like, you can see where you're at based on the numbers of the streets, whether it's north, south, east, west, and what number that is. Then you could say, oh, I'm this far from
It doesn't
X.
take a while to learn it. You just have to.
Tell my wife that.
Really?
She doesn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, the diagonals will trip people up, but come on, this isn't London. We're not like a spider web.
Well, all those European cities were designed so long ago that they just used to design roads to get from here to there, right? That's how that's true. That's what they did. They're like, okay, we need this to go from this square to the, to the grocer or to the blacksmith or whatever they had. But that's how their roads were designed back then. We're just a little more modern here in the city. Same thing with New York. New York has some grid systems in Manhattan mainly. Same kind of concept, but I think that's something to learn as you get more established here. It's hard to pick up if you're not from here.
Yeah.
Anything else? What are we known for?
Pizza.
Well, yeah.
Deep dish or tavern style. Pan pizza. I'm gonna say
deep dish all day. I think.
Did you grow up with deep dish?
No.
I grew up with thin crust. I'm not from Chicago originally. I am a Midwestern, born and raised.
You're born in Barrington. That counts.
Born in Barrington? Okay, for a hot second, and then yeah.
Well, that's another thing too. Saying you're from Chicago when you're born in the burbs.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I do it. I say I'm a Chicagoan. I was born in Wakanda, and not the Wakanda from Black Panther.
Okay, I don't know if that counts. But yeah, those people that they say they're from the city, or, you know, if they're traveling, regardless of where they are outside of the state of Illinois, they'll say they're from Chicago.
And they use time as a measure of distance. Like it takes an hour to get from Chicago to Wakanda.
Oh.
And not mileage. I have no idea mileage. 30 miles? I have no idea.
Yeah. I think Naperville is like 35 miles from the city.
It's an hour and a half.
And
that's what I would say. I would say it's an hour and a half. I have no idea. And you can get to Indiana.
It's not an hour and a half.
You can get to Indiana from downtown with no traffic in like 20 minutes, which is wild.
Traffic. Let's talk about traffic. My favorite thing to complain about is traffic.
Yes.
The 9094 Kennedy project was the bane of my existence, given what we do, right?
Right.
We're in our cars all day long. When my family moved to our neighborhood 5 years ago, part of the draw was that we were right off the highway. So I knew we were moving further away from downtown, further away from like the epicenter of where many of my clients are. And we were able to offset that by being close to the highway. Well, then we go into a 3-year project, and my 16-minute commute turns into a 37-minute commute. Yeah, you're going to hear about it from me when I get to the office.
Yes.
So much so that my friends that live out of state came to visit, and we were in the thick of it. I think it was year 1, and I still had not calmed down from how angry I was at the traffic every day. They made up a drinking game behind my back for the amount of times that I would mention the word construction.
Did everyone get pretty drunk?
Very. I took a lot of pleasure in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just have to get used to it. I mean...
Well, now it's pretty much done, right?
We're on year 3.
I never know. The construction is always going on.
We're on year 3 of 3, and it takes me 11 minutes.
294 is on year like 12 of
yeah,
like 30,
294
right,
is like playing Frogger.
That's never going to get fixed.
No.
That's the other thing too is the names of all the
highways are...
Yeah, the Kennedy and the Dan Ryan and...
Yeah.
And people maybe not understanding
Eisenhower,
that.
Ida B. Wells.
I always just remember growing up and watching WGN News and, you know, them talking about all the names and everything, and that's kind of how I learned them.
Really?
Yeah, because otherwise I was like, I don't know. It's like, oh. And the different street names they would say, they always stuck out certain ones. Mannheim to wherever, O'Hare, I don't know.
Yeah, traffic reports in the morning can make your head spin. Because
you're watching that and you're waiting for the snow announcements for school to be canceled.
Yeah, they don't really even do that anymore.
I don't think so. We're
that was the
we're
best
dating
day
ourselves,
ever.
I think, with that.
Are we?
Perhaps.